What's going on? This is Brother Jay, and I'm back again with another thought of the day, man. My thought of the day is called Too Far. And what I mean by that, is the way that transition people or the trans community think in regards to when it comes to gym membership, especially in California. This is going way too far. I mean, they say even in their laws that a gym facility can not only not deny you access to whatever restroom you want to use because you identify as that gender or sex, but they don't require proof that you are this gender. Like, if you're claiming to be this gender, you know what I'm saying, most of the time, especially in California law, they have it on your ID, you know what I'm saying, whether it be trans man, trans girl, whatever, you know what I'm saying. Like, in other words, what they're saying is that, let's say for argument's sake, I joined a gym, right? And I don't feel like using the men's locker room or restroom or whatever. I want to go into the ladies' room. I can sit here and just tell this motherfucker right here that I identify as a trans lady or a non-binary or whatever and stuff like that, and they cannot deny me access to that locker room or restroom or whatever. Now, here's the crazy part of this. You know what I'm saying, at least, and forgive me for my assholish behavior, but at least back in the day, when the trans community tried to basically blend in, it almost looked successful. Like, there's a gang of trans people back in the day that you really had to look real fucking close to say, oh yeah, that's a dude, bruh. You know what I'm saying? But if you was in the distance and shit, it'll look like a chick because they try to blend in like a lady. If you're saying you identifying as a lady, but you're sitting here, on swole and shit like that, muscle bound and shit like that, with just a tad bit of lipstick on, and you want to go into the ladies' locker room and they supposed to be comfortable with that shit, that's not making no kind of sense. You know what I'm saying? That's like I said, go back to my original point. I can just sit here and walk to the counter and be like, I identify as a lady. Oh, okay. Go ahead, ma'am. And I go in the ladies' room, and what if I'm a creep? What if I'm a fucking predator, you know what I'm saying? Like, not just, the overt, rapist type creep, you know what I'm saying? What if I'm covert? Which means that I just love to just be like a voyeur and just watch people and shit. You know what I'm saying? I love watching naked ladies and shit. And they can't tell me no because I said I identify as a lady and shit. This is a sick world we living in, bro. Oh my goodness. And now the crazy part is you hear all these stories from only one main gender, which is that it's meaning the ladies that are bitching about, that these transgender wannabe ladies, but they're guys coming into their locker room and spaces and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not hardly covered how men feel when you see a fucking Brizard coming to, every now and then, it don't happen much, but every now and then, a broad will come into a men's locker room and shit like that. And because she's taking certain hormone therapy type of shit, you know what I'm saying, where she's growing a mustache, she's growing a beard and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? But you can kind of tell sometimes on the way they walk, you know what I'm saying? No matter how much a motherfucker try to alter what you are, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's saying when it comes to a threat or a serious encounter with someone, your walk becomes what you're born with. You know what I'm saying? Like, men walk in a certain way. Women walk in a certain switching way. You know what I'm saying? Now, even if you trying to change your hormones to become a dude, you have to actually relearn how to walk. But then when you get in a threatening situation and you have to run from that situation, you're still going to show your gender by how you getting away from that scenery. If you're running, women don't run like men run. I mean, there's some that train that way. We talking about like track athletes and all like that, you know what I'm saying? But mostly, you know what I'm saying, on a regular basis, a regular, you know what I'm saying, civilian, you know what I'm saying, you ain't gonna sit there and, you know what I'm saying, run like a dude and shit. You gonna do you kind of like a switch run. That's what most ladies do when they run from a scene, you know what I'm saying, whether it be their hands like this or whether it be, you know what I'm saying, it's a slower run because they're switching while they're running, because they always have learned like how to hula hoop, and you know what I'm saying, so their natural instinct is to, you know what I'm saying, move like that. So when they run, they gonna run like that. You know what I'm saying? Men don't have that, you know what I'm saying, so they just run straight up. But if I'm going too far with it and going too, you know what I'm saying, too far into it, you know what I'm saying, forgive me. My main point is only this, that I did not know that the laws in California was set up in such a way where they're basically saying, like, you know what I'm saying, if it's a ladies' locker room, they basically saying to ladies, like, you know what I'm saying, hey, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Just deal with this motherfucking man coming in, you know what I'm saying, with a tad bit of lipstick on major swole like a motherfucker, flexing and everything. Talking about, hey ladies, how you doing? Ain't that a bitch? Man, I'm glad I'm not a lady these days, man. Ooh, wait. It's bad enough you got to worry about men trying to stalk you and terrorize you and shit like that. Now you got these transgender that's actually elbowing and forcing ladies to tolerate them coming into their spaces. Now, when the question came up in play about, okay, well, what if we do this? You have your men's room, your ladies' room, and a gender neutral bathroom. Will that accommodate you? And this transformer had the nerve to say that will become reverse discrimination. How in the fuck is it reverse discrimination? If you have a total neutral transgender restroom, how is that discrimination? You have your own bathroom. Wait a minute. So is it discrimination if men have their own restroom? Or women have their own restroom? Is that discrimination? If you want to technically look at it, yes, it is. You are a man, I am a woman. Keep separate. It's segregated, you know what I'm saying? So if you add on a third dynamic, which is a person that's confused, I don't know if I'm a man or a woman, and you create a neutral bathroom for them, now they have nerve to say that's discrimination. Ain't that a bitch? You're trying to force yourself to be included in areas that have always have been gender segregated. So now they forcing their way into these areas and stuff like, because they think they breaking ground and stuff like, yeah, we boldly going where no one has gone before. Why would you? What, I mean, look, and I'm a black man. You know, duh, you know, but I'm a black man. And if I happen to be, let's say, for argument's sake, out in an area like in New York in Bensonhurst, I am not trying to use the restroom over there because I'm not trying to get jumped in that restroom. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's not gender assigned, but you're familiar that this area is racially charged. And I'm going into an area where there's no cameras at and use the restroom with all these racist motherfuckers and shit? Fuck no. You know what I'm saying? So I understand why these transformers want to force their way into places that if you know you're not welcome, why force the issue? You know, there's some places I can't go, and I'm a black man. There's some places I can't go without risking my life. But these motherfuckers would act like you're saying like, well, I should be able to go there regardless because this is America. I'm free to be me. Yeah, you're free to be you, but you fucking taking your life in your own hands with that shit. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do it. So, to bring this to a close and land my plane, it's just unrealistic on how certain people pushing these laws and the other people that's giving into them. I'm thinking they're getting blackmailed, bro. I'm thinking they're getting blackmailed. Hey, you better fucking pass this law. You're saying, I'm going to tell about the videos you made and how many dicks you sucked in the alleyway. And they got some kind of blackmail leverage on all these motherfuckers. That's why they're able to get away with all these ways of things. Because in normal reality, this shit wouldn't pass. They'll just simply say either one, here's a gender neutral bathroom. So it'll be 3 different restrooms. You know what I'm saying? You know, either that or, you know what I'm saying, it'll be like, you know what I'm saying, you better use another facility down the street or something. You know what I mean? You know, but there's too many people accommodating this style. Now, truthfully, I'm going to say in my heart and let it go. I think this is some gangster shit. I think it's some a transgender mafia system out there, you know what I'm saying? They'd be just collecting blackmail material on motherfuckers and just strong arming their way to get their way and shit. Because you forget, even though they want to pass as a woman, that's still a man first. So he knows how to talk to other men. And on that note, I'm out of here. Deuces.